Hi there. I'm just waiting on hold. Look what I'm listening to. Exciting, isn't it? I'll just call them back. I've been on hold too long, and waiting is something that nobody likes to do. No one signs up for it. Who wants to be put on hold with elevator music in the background, or stand in long lines at the DMV, or even be through this COVID season as we've been waiting for over 6 months? And so while we don't like to wait, there are certain things that we have to wait for. So the question isn't why are we waiting, but how can I wait while I have to do it? And so I want to speak into that, just a couple points to help you while you're waiting, whether for this COVID season to open up eventually or for personal things in your life. I think we can all understand that it's important to not just wait, but how to wait well. So the first point is that God's timing for you is perfect. It is. Even in the midst of the frustration, the difficulties, the impatience, the lack of answers, God has a perfect plan for you. And so we don't ask why I don't have what I'm waiting for, God. Instead, we ask, how can I wait? What can I do while I wait in this season? I'm reminded automatically of King David in 1 Samuel that as the prophet Samuel anointed him king of Israel, he was just a shepherd boy. It wouldn't be until 13 to 15 years later, at the age of 30, that he'd be crowned king. And what happened in the midst of that? Well, a lot happened. There was tribulations that forged him to have a greater faith in God, where he suffered persecution, going from place to place, not sure where his security would lie in. People turned their backs on him, but through that, he learned the character and skills necessary to become a great king. Now, if he was king immediately when he got anointed as a shepherd boy, I don't think he would be considered one of the greatest kings of Israel. It took the trials and the difficulties through that waiting period to get him ready for where God called him to be. And I think we can try to take that in for ourselves and say, Lord, how can you prepare me in this season of waiting for what you've called me to be? And second, that goes along with that point, is God is working in you in unexpected ways. Sometimes we know what the Lord's doing, but many times we're not sure. It's behind the scenes. And the waiting season is the best time for him to work something in and through you. James 2, or 1, 2-4 says this, and I know you've heard this before. It says, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kind, because the testing of your faith develops perseverance. Perseverance must finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking a thing." And while it may be difficult for you to wait for that, what God has promised you, or even just seeing your circumstances work out in a different way than what you're currently facing, don't give up. God is doing something in you right now that couldn't be done at another time. And I know people don't like to hear this. I don't. But if you think about just the last 6 months of this COVID season, what has the Lord been doing in you? Or we can take the bold step if we're not sure. And why don't we ask him, Lord, what are you doing? Ask the Holy Spirit to reveal aspects of what he wants to do through you. And it may be difficult because perhaps there's areas of the flesh and the junk that he wants to get sorted out. But are we willing to go there? We're supposed to have pure joy that we are going through these trials, because maturity is the goal, so we persevere. But it's also to take on more of Christ's characteristics. He wants us to look more like him. And what better time than waiting through the fire to burn off all that is not of God so that we can look more like him. And so while you wait, I hope you wait well. because we want to get out of this better and not bitter. I hope this spoke to you, and have a blessed day.